How you guys doing? Welcome aboard the next video. Today we're talking about Bell County Comic Con Day 2 and the final day. Oh my god, I am exhausted. But, oh my god. So, I did not get some of the footage that I wanted, but I got pictures I will show you guys of one of my buddy Edmir that got some of the things that I missed. So that way you guys know exactly what went on in this Comic Con. Now, you know, I still missed a couple of events, and that's stuff that kind of typically happens, you know. I have my son coming with me and everything going around, and you know, I can't really make it to everything and every little thing. But was able to go into, when we first got there, see the cars. So I'll show you some footage of that so you guys see what kind of vehicles were there. That was really interesting. There were some Lamborghinis and Subarus. There were a couple of different other vehicles there as well. And I think the car show, there was like a certain event where people went to, and I think we missed it. So that's why it wasn't all too intriguing, because we were just walking around looking at it, and there's nobody really there, and people just kind of just walking around looking at the cars with big old stereo systems and some of them sticking up. So, you know, there was that going on. So we went ahead and we went inside to try and see a conference, and we actually walked in on Ernie Reyes Jr. doing his little thing, and I got an entire thing of his interview. Not the whole thing, but because we came into a part of it, and I think because of how much footage I got of that, I might just make it its own separate video, just catching some of the things that I caught during that. And I gotta say, like, a lot of people were courteous. They would duck down underneath my camera so they wouldn't get in the way. There was a few people who just didn't care and they walked past, but you know, it's just one of those things that you have to deal with. There were a few a-holes I had to deal with today, which wasn't too bad. I was trying to find Eastman like I did yesterday. I looked for him 3 times yesterday, did not get him. Today he was finally at the booth, but once I got there, he shut down the lines. Once I got there, so I couldn't get him to sign anything. And some of the employees there, they were, to a degree they were nice, but to other degrees they were a bit of a douchey. I mean, it wasn't too bad, you know, because they were like, no, we're shutting it down, you don't know, get away from here. And it was like, dude, just calm your tits, you know. Like, it was just calm down. I know it's been a rough few days, but you don't have to act like that, you know. But it wasn't that bad. You know, I had one person asking me where everything was at in a very rude way, like they just did not like being there for some reason, I guess. I don't know who that person was, but they were a terrible person as far as I could tell, and I just laughed at them and I kept going about my business. But anyways, some of the things that I didn't get to see the turtles, not all 4 of them. I did see one on the way, walking around. My buddy Edmir got all of them. You got to take pictures of them, and that was really cool. We got to see a whole buttload of other things. You know, I saw Zelda, saw one person I guess was supposed to look like a Big Daddy from Bioshock. So, you know, I think that's what they were going for, was a Bioshock-esque theme, or possibly one of those big guys from Fallout that had one of those cages around their head and all that good stuff. I don't really know for sure, but it was pretty cool. It was pretty interesting. There's a couple new things we saw. There was, of course, there was another Darth Vader. There was a Kylo Ren, and the guy in the Darth Vader outfit caught me filming him on camera, and he was trying to choke me out with choke force. That was awesome. I thought that was funny. It was really cool. So, if you guys are asking me, did I get successful in talking to John Lucas today? And the answer is yes. I finally got to talk to him personally. We had a really good conversation. It was a lot of fun. He was doing $10 per thing, and I mean, he signed my first comic book yesterday without word of ask, without even charging me. He did the same with the comic book that I did today, which I have right here. I did number 29, because this is actually my favorite from the ones that he did. And for those of you who don't know, John Lucas, he does mostly just inking. He doesn't do colorations. And he did all that stuff without word of ask, and I just felt, you know, I got $10 of work from him right here. This is $10. I felt, you know, he was just getting kind of, I don't know. To me, I just felt like he deserved more. So I gave him $26, and I said, here, this is for you, you know. he said, it's only 10. I was like, don't worry about it, you can take that. So he took it, which was really cool of him. And he was just, the look on his face was just absolutely amazing. He loved the conversation we had. We got to talk a little bit. He did a little quick sketch of the skull on there as well. Something also really cool that happened was we went walking around and I showed you guys this artwork, which my son is bending the crap out of because he got mad, which is why we ended up leaving today. And this artwork was done by an artist, a fan artist. I got him to sign it. I found him there and I got him to sign it. I literally held it up like this. And I was just going from booth to booth till I ran to the guy that made it until somebody recognized it, and which was kind of a weird thing to do. But I just went from booth like, yeah, no, okay, next guy. That's a chick. Let's see if she. Nope. And the next guy. But yeah, eventually I ran into the booth of the guy that did this, and he looked right at me. He looked at that. He was like, "That's mine," and I was like, "Oh yeah." So I was like, I was hoping you can sign it, and he was like, oh, absolutely. So he went and signed it, and he said that this was one of the most. It was his last artwork that he did for the convention, and he was just not sure how he was going to do this, and he really hoped he nailed it once he finished it. And I told him like straight up, look, I'm prior Navy. When I saw this poster, I had to have it. I thought it was absolutely amazing. It was very well done. I absolutely love it. And that just made him smile from ear to ear. And one thing that he asked was like, well, whose signature is that? Because he was like, he thought somebody was taking credit for his artwork. And I was like, oh, that's Ernie Reyes Jr. He signed it. And his face lit up. Like, he was so ecstatic, so surprised that somebody took his artwork and had one of those people sign it. So it really lit him up. Like, oh my God, he was so ecstatic. And I told him, like, this is going to go on my wall. I'm putting this on my wall. I really love this artwork. And that just made him smile so big. And he was just so happy about that. It was just amazing. So, yeah, that was a lot of fun. My God, I recorded so much today that my camera's just about dead right now. And it's at 29 minutes. It can last up to 215 minutes. And I'm down to 29 right now. So, that's just, dang. I'm just going insane. So the game room was really cool. Yeah, the signings. Noel G was there. I got some footage of him, of course. Flash Gordon was there again. Ernie Reyes Jr. We didn't go up to him again today. We decided not to, so don't worry about that. I was just so happy because at first I was really bummed out. I couldn't get Eastman. I tried 4, 5, 6 times and he wasn't there every time. And then the one time he was, they're like, sorry, line shut down. I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. I was getting mad. So, I tried to calm myself. I was like, you know what? I met John Lucas. I did exactly what I really wanted to do, and that was meet John Lucas. And John Lucas was absolutely phenomenal. Some of the part of the conversation that we had, because he asked me, because he saw my shirt, and I have yellow Deadpool, which, I thought to myself, like, nobody wore a yellow or blue Deadpool, or a gray one even, which is one of the other common ones other than the red. And so I wore the yellow one. And he saw me wearing that shirt, and he was like, did they actually make Deadpool in that color? And I was like, oh yeah, they make them in yellow, they make them in blue, they make them in gray. red's just the common one. And he was like, so what is yellow? And I'm sitting there like, oh God, I wasn't expecting to be quizzed today. So it's like, I think it was X-Men. I think it's X-Men. He wears the yellow one, sometimes an orange one for X-Men, depending on the comic book. The gray is Weapon X program. And he just looked at me like, wow, I didn't know that. And, don't be surprised, he does ink, just plain old black, gray ink. So he doesn't do the coloration, so that it's no surprise that he didn't know that. And I just thought it was really cool that I got to learn a little bit from him. He got to learn a little bit from me, and that was just a really cool experience. And John Lucas he was excited to be able to talk to somebody. It seemed like nobody really gave him much of a time of day. Like, there were people going there and buying some of his things, but no one actually sitting down and talking to him about some of these things and giving him credit where credit is due. And I just told him that I absolutely loved his work, even if it wasn't with Deadpool and other comics as well. I loved his work. He does a really great job. He really does. I love his work. And that's probably the reason why I picked number 29, is because most of this, there's not a whole lot of color. Most of this is John Lucas. He did basically the whole thing. And that's why I really love this, because I think this one really represents quite a bit of his ability. And that's what I think was really great about this choice. And it's just, God, it's just so amazing. But anyways, some of the things that I did see, because I'm a retro game collector, I did find some retro games. And, oh crap, where did I put that, actually? Well, I found an Atari 2600 game, Pitfall 2, because I have the first one, I don't have the second one. The second one usually is expensive, but the woman there was really nice and gave discounts, and I got it for $8, and they typically go for 20. And I saw a Sonic 2 for the Sega Genesis going for 20 bucks complete in box, which I've seen for far cheaper for 10 bucks. So I wasn't gonna go there. I actually know what I'm looking at, unlike a lot of other people, but no offense to the people that was selling the stuff there. I'm glad they're doing what they were doing. There was a Jurassic Park game on the NES I wanted to get, but it was 25 bucks and I already spent my money on some things that, well, I couldn't help myself. I ran across this table twice when we first got there, and it had these really cool custom Nerf guns that they had sitting there, and I was like, oh my God, I really want one of those. They're probably selling them for like $80, but so we passed by it one time. Later on, got to see Ernie Reyes Jr. talking his thing, doing questions and answers, and then later on we went back to that table, and they were actually selling them for $35 for big ones, I think, and then like $20 for smaller ones. So they actually sold me. This one was not originally what I was going to buy, but it looks something that you would find out of Fallout 4. It really does. I really like this. This is cool. And for those that don't know, you get these yellow bands around them to indicate that they're props and not real guns. They do that at the Expo. So then, this is the one that I really wanted. And this one was $35. I was so glad to get it. It no longer charges back right here. It no longer charges back. It's just a prop, as you can see here. And it was really cool. They didn't have change for it though. It doesn't really snap into place anymore. Not a big deal. But they didn't have change for me, so they decided that they would throw in this weapon if I just throw in a 20. So I got both of these for just 60 bucks. Really good idea, a really good thing for it. Because the thing was that they were like 35 a piece, actually, 35 a piece. And they just said throw in another 20 since we don't have change, and you can have them both. So I got them for 60 instead of $70, so I saved 10 bucks. These are really cool props. Of course, the pistol sets on this little thing, and it's really cool because it really reminds me of Fallout, and I'm a huge fan of Fallout. And that was really cool and really interesting. So we've got to see the convention from every different area. We went upstairs and we went to the game room, and that was really interesting because it was kind of like a break room, but they also were selling all sorts of things, retro games, which is what really caught my eye since I was looking for that to see if I could find anything. Of course, went over there. The retro game that I did buy, I didn't buy from there. I bought downstairs near the conference. This elderly lady and her husband, they were trying to sell some of the old games that they had, and I ended up, I was gonna get, because they had 3 games that I was looking for that's on my wish list, and I decided to just go with one to try and not spend too much money, and that was Pitfall 2, which was the one I've really been after. That's the more expensive one. They did have Joust. I've been wanting to get that. I couldn't get it. I wasn't going to get it because I wasn't going to spend too much money, especially after these. They had Narc for the NES. I wanted to get that, but you have to pick and choose your battles there, buddy. And so I just got the Pitfall 2. So then, as I was saying, up in the game room upstairs, they were selling things up there. Today, like, a lot of people saw me recording them, and they just said, "Hey," and just like doing all sorts of things, and they just smiled, and they're like, "How's it going?" It was really cool. I love that. People were really nice today. Those that were selling, people who were on the job, like staff and security. The security wasn't bad. They were still nice. The staff, though, they look drained. They look terrible. They look like they were about to go off and shoot themselves. It was bad for them. But hey, it was still a lot of fun. It was really great. And I would have killed to be in their shoes. To be able to be there all day. I would love that, because they have the ability to actually get signings from them. Like, because when I tried to get Eastman to sign, they said no longer accepting, but staff is getting signings before he goes to the next conference. And I'm like, how's that? Whatever. But of course, they're working there all the time. They don't ever get the opportunity, so they gave the workers an opportunity. I get that. It's kind of messed up when you're sitting there like, nah, bitch, no, sit back. You're going, go home. Like, what's wrong with you? Don't talk to people like that. Just don't do that. And I really almost went off on that woman. It was unprofessional. But anyways, so went ahead and got these. Up in the game room, they had people playing all sorts of different things. I think it was they had people playing. At one point, I didn't get it recorded on one of those. They were playing Sonic. Another one they were playing. Most of them I got recorded, and that was just all sorts of different things like Mario Kart and I think comic. What was it? Capcom versus something. Or whatever, and it was just a whole slew of different things. I recorded a couple of different ones, and I think it was Capcom versus Marvel. I think that was the one. Capcom versus Marvel. That was the one I think that really caught my eye. But got those, and then I did a whole thing where this guy had D&D setups for all these things, and I just took and just went into it and recorded everything. Just went and recorded all of it. I'll probably do like a montage of it. I'll probably do a montage of it, so that way you guys can see what that was like. It was really cool. The artistic ability of the people there was amazing. that's the last day of Comic-Con at the Belton County Expo Center. And I gotta say, it was a lot of fun. Lots of fun. There was a lot of really good people there, a lot of really nice people. A lot of us got to laugh, joke around. I loved it so much. And I really got to give a shout out to these people. I'm going to pull out the card they gave me. So if you guys are interested in weapons like these, I'm going to give them a shout out because they were the ones that made this. They gave me a card. They also do party events and stuff like that. They'll show up in dress and stuff like that. I think that's what they were saying. And I'll show the card off so you guys can get their information if you are looking to get some of the props they make. Like, where did the pistol? Oh my god, I think he took the pistol. But anyways, so definitely give them credit because they did a great job with this. This looks so good. Oh my god. You can definitely smell the paint a little bit. I'm not worried about that at all. I mean, it's going to be like that when you have a prop like this. So, absolutely great work. I love it. It's just so good. It's so sexy. Just so good. Even the magazine was well done. Of course, the inside's a little orange, but it's going to be like that no matter what you do. So, absolutely love it. Okay. Oh well. Okay, so anyways, that is going to be... let's see if I can think of anything else real quick before I get off this video. Oh yeah, there was somebody that actually stole a sword off of the table that I recorded. Somebody stole a sword off of there, and oh my god, that upset me. Because that dude worked so hard to make those things, and somebody just went off and just took one off the table. That was upsetting. Somebody did that. There was a lot of artwork there as well, and I try to get as much of these people on camera as possible. So that way they could actually get some recognition. This video can get out there on YouTube. People can view it, see the kind of people they are, their names, the companies they work for, the studios they work for. I tried to get as much as I could. I may not have gotten everything, but I tried my best to get as much as I could with the time that I had. So, I'm going to be going through and showing every little bit I got. This is going to probably be a little bit of an extra long video, but totally worth it. And I really hope we get another Comic-Con in Belton County Expo Center, because I'm really hoping it happens again so we can go and see it again. Because it would be so fantastic to finally get other celebrities down here to get their signs and stuff like that. Deadpool especially, because God knows how many people would show up just for Deadpool. Just for Deadpool. And this was TMNT, this is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and it was the premise of why a lot of people came out. Grant, Noel G, a lot of people were just surrounding that man, and it was just amazing to see that. Flash Gordon, he was busy day in and day out. People were coming in left and right. It was just absolutely amazing. I would have loved to have met him, but it wasn't on my top priority. If I had a third day, I'd go see him, but I only had 2 days. So, I can only do so much with 2 days, and, my family, they can't really be out there too long before we end up having to go. Because my son got really bored, and he just started acting up, and I'm not having that. So, I just got out of there before he made a nuisance of himself towards other people. But him being 3, most people would just find it cute rather than annoying. So it's still I just don't want to bother certain people, because there will always be those certain people out there that get bothered by that. Now obviously this Comic-Con is absolutely amazing. I'm drained. Okay, I had more energy yesterday talking about this, but I am drained right now. This is just, oh my god. I definitely need some rest from all this excitement. Definitely got to do doing 2 videos. One where the conference where people asked Ernie Reyes Jr. questions and he answered them. One thing I left out that I didn't get on camera was the fact that the suit he wore weighed 50 pounds in the first TMNT movie. Weighed 50 pounds. Dang! No. Some extra stuff that I will add is that they had a really big Boba Fett helmet thing just sitting there in the conference room. They also had a really huge 16,000 bottle cap Death Star sitting there too, artwork as well. That was really cool. Buddy Edmure got a picture of that up front. I got video coverage of it. Just all sorts of things, and you know, swords, axes, wands even. They had a whole Harry Potter section. One little section that just had Harry Potter stuff, and that was really cool. There was, of course, bobblehead sections. There was, of course, nostalgia sections that was just look, don't touch. Pay to sit next to things and have pictures with it, like the DeLorean that they had. One of them was don't touch, the other one was to interact but pay $5 for rent. Basically rent, because they had a sign that said rent. One thing that I would say about Comic-Con at the Bell County Expo Center is that they didn't have pamphlets to hand out on the events that were going to go on at such and such times. Instead, they had announcers doing that, which is fine. You know, plenty of people are okay with just walking around and doing whatever. I'm one of those people, but there are some people who would love to see what the schedules are so they aren't late to anything, or that they weren't able to go something because they weren't made aware of its existence. So that's something to take a note on. And the game room was definitely more like a break room. People could get food, go up there, relax a little bit. That was phenomenal. That was really great. They had soda machines. A lot of times we caught ourselves having to go outside to get food and then coming back in, so having to go through security. I think we went through security about 3 or 4 times, which wasn't a big deal. They were really nice. They were very quick. They were pretty thorough, and they didn't waste their time. So, you know, that's one really big thing, is that security is a big thing, and something that they were really good about was they had first responders on site in case anything happened. Someone passed out from heat exhaustion or anything like that. First responders were there. Let's see, when it comes to other things, they did seemingly move around some of the celebrities today from the positions that they were yesterday. I caught Mario, Luigi, and some of the Disney princesses dancing. Not really that exciting. The Mario and Luigi I ran into yesterday. I didn't get them on camera, which I'm kicking myself in the butt for not doing. But I got them today from a distance. And Mario runs around with some sort of machine that you can go, and he just coin. Like every time he's behind something, he will press it while he's waiting behind them. He'll just ding, 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 ding. Like, oh my god. That was pretty funny. So that does it for this video, guys. I hope you really liked this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button down below. As always, remember 22 and stay classy, bros.